On April 21st, 2025, as the world drowns in grief over Pope Francis's passing, an unknown woman in a narrow alley on the pilgrimage route quietly cooks 1,000 meals with only a tattered apron. I owe him everything. What secret lies in that apron? Why does a woman no one knows do something extraordinary to honor him? One small act, 25 years ago, sparked a miracle. A story of compassion that will make you believe in light. What small act ever lit up your life? A word, a gesture, or a glance that touched your heart forever. 25 years ago, in a wretched alley in Buenos Aires, Elena, 35, huddled with her young child, her mind sinking deep into despair. I can't feed my child. I'm a failed mother, unworthy of her. Hunger, mounting debts, and the scornful glares of neighbors enveloped her like a storm. I just want to give up. If it all ends, this pain will vanish. That night, Elena held her child, tears streaming, whispering in the darkness, "God, if you see me, why have you let me stray so far?" Suddenly, from the end of the alley, a priest, Jorge Bergoglio, approached, his eyes like a flame of warmth. "God sees you, Elena. You are stronger than you believe." He knelt, pulled a small sum of money from his pocket, placed it in her hand, and gave her a tattered apron. "Cook, Elena. Use this apron and know that God is always with you, always watching over you and everyone." Elena trembled, gazing at the words on the apron. God is always with you, always watching over you and everyone. Those words ignited a fire, banishing the darkness in her soul. I will cook, for my child, for God, and for him, I swear to myself. A neighbor, seeing Elena rise with resolute eyes, was stunned. "Elena, what are you doing? Where will you find the strength to start over?" "I have God and I have his words. I'll cook because my child needs me." With that money, Elena bought rice, vegetables, and a little meat, cooking her first meals in the alley. She opened a small diner, day by day, meal by meal, raising her child, her heart slowly finding light again. People in the alley began visiting her diner, praising the meals filled with her love. The apron, Elena's flame of faith, stayed with her, carrying a secret she never imagined. On April 21st, 2025, as news of Pope Francis's passing spreads worldwide, Elena, now 60, stands in a narrow alley on the pilgrimage route, sweat-soaked, cooking 1,000 meals. "I must cook, to honor him, the man who saved my life." Pilgrims, weary and hungry, line up, receiving steaming meals from Elena's hands. "Thank you, ma'am. These meals are a light in our sorrowful journey." Elena offers a faint smile, her hands trembling, stirring the soup, but her body is exhausted. As she hands out the final meal, Elena stumbles, collapsing to the ground, her tattered apron falling beside her. I can't stop. He gave me strength. I must keep going." A young pilgrim, 20 years old, rushes to her side, lifting her up, concerned. "Ma'am, are you okay? How do you cook so much? What's this apron?" Elena, breathing heavily, clutches the apron, her eyes lost in memory. 25 years ago, a priest gave me this apron, along with money and faith. He said God sees me, that I'm strong, and because of him, I raised my child, opened a diner. Now I cook 1,000 meals to bid him farewell, to thank him for saving me. The young pilgrim, moved, kneels beside Elena, touching the apron lightly. "Ma'am, you're a light. I lost hope on this pilgrimage, but you give me reason to carry on." God sees you, like you say. I won't give up because of you. Another pilgrim nearby whispers to the crowd, "Who is this woman? How does she do something so miraculous?" From a distance, a young priest watches Elena, his gaze fixed on the apron. That apron. There's something special about it. I need to know. Elena, though exhausted, rises, handing out the remaining meals, light from the alley shining on the apron, like an eternal flame. I cook, for him, for God, and for them. I can't stop. The young pilgrim, holding Elena's hand, whispers, tears streaming down. "Ma'am, God sees you, and I see you too. Thank you." In the narrow alley, the young priest approaches Elena, his hands trembling, holding the dusty apron from when she fell. "Let me see this apron. There's something extraordinary about it." He gently wipes the dust, his eyes freezing, heart pounding as he sees the signature. Jorge Bergoglio, and the words, "God is always with you, always watching over you and everyone." This is the handwriting of Pope Francis. Who are you to have such a treasure? Elena, still weak from her fall, looks up at the priest, her eyes wide with shock. He was the Pope? I only knew him as the priest who saved my life 25 years ago. I'm just a poor mother. How am I worthy of this? The young pilgrim, standing by Elena, holds her hand, voice brimming with emotion. "Ma'am, you must tell this story. You inspired me. You inspired us all." The young priest, moved, contacts the Vatican that same day. "This woman's story is a light. We must bring her to Rome." A cardinal from the Vatican, after the funeral on April 26, 2025, sends an invitation to Elena. "Miss Elena, your story is a miracle. Come to Rome. Share it with the world." Elena, sitting in her humble home, stares at the apron, her heart heavy with doubt. "I'm not worthy. I just cooked. How can I stand before the world?" The young pilgrim, now visiting Elena again, kneels, voice urgent. "Ma'am, you gave me hope when I wanted to give up. You must speak, for him, for us." Elena, tears streaming, nods, clutching the apron tightly. "If God wants me to speak, I'll go, for him and for you all." In Rome, before thousands, Elena stands, her voice trembling but resolute. "A priest gave me this apron, said God sees me. Because of him, I raised my child, cooked 1,000 meals to honor him." The people of Rome applaud, whispering about the miraculous story of the unknown woman. "I'm not special, but he made me a light for others." The young priest among the crowd watches Elena, tears rolling down his face. This story is the Pope's legacy. It will live forever. After her trip to Rome, Elena returns to her narrow alley, her story spreading worldwide, from pilgrims to distant churches. The apron with Pope Francis's signature is displayed in the local church, a flame that shines forever. The people in the alley, once doubtful of Elena, now gather, admiring her compassion. "Miss Elena, we were wrong. You're the light of our community." Elena, sitting by her window, looks out at the alley, smiling, her hand tracing the old apron. "It wasn't me, but God and him. One small act changed everything." The young pilgrim, now Elena's friend, steps in, holding a notebook. "Ma'am, I'm learning to cook because of you. I want to open a diner, help the poor like you did. You're why I believe in kindness, believe anyone can change the world." Elena, moved, places her hand on the young pilgrim's shoulder, her eyes sparkling. "You remind me of myself 25 years ago. Cook for God and for them." The community, inspired by Elena, opens a charity diner right in the alley. "Miss Elena, we named it Francis's Light, for you and him." A pilgrim visiting the church stands before the apron, whispering, "I heard your story all the way in Palermo. You make me want to live better." The young priest, now a frequent visitor to the alley, shares Elena's story in his sermons. Has Elena's story, her apron, and Pope Francis's compassion touched your heart? Subscribe to our channel now. Hit the bell to never miss inspiring stories like this. Share this video with friends, family, to spread the light of compassion to everyone. One small act, like Elena's story, can change the entire world. We want to hear your story. What small act ever lit up your life? A word, a gesture, or a glance that touched your heart forever? Leave a comment, hit like, and let's sow seeds of love together, as he and Elena did. Thank you for joining us, for God and for compassion that lives forever.